Hello, everyone. Are we live? Welcome to the Bold team. We hope everyone is rested from, I talk with my hands. We hope everyone is rested from your weekend, whether you celebrated Easter or you just had a nice weekend. I am Michelle Eves, and I will lead us for this week. And I wanted to have the panel introduce themselves. So let's start with Carol. Carol, will you introduce yourself?
Sure will. Hi, I'm Carol Makowski, live in upstate New York at the other end of the house from Ellie. I'm an affiliate marketer on the internet, and I'm eager to get into this discussion, see where it goes. Thank you, Michelle.
Great. Welcome, Ellie. And Catherine, would you come out?
Sure. Hi, everyone. It's Catherine from beautiful Alameda. And I can't wait to hear what Michelle is going to talk about, but I'm an internet entrepreneur, and we have this great business with everybody in our team that's very supportive. So I can't wait to hear what Michelle has to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Catherine. And Danielle?
Hi everyone, I'm Danny Cloutier. I'm from Sarnia, Ontario, Canada, living the life here in the north. And I'm also an online entrepreneur, and I'm excited to hear what Michelle has for us tonight.
Thank you. And the original Ellie, would you like to come out?
The original Ellie. Hi, I'm the original Ellie. That's a new one. I am Ellie Walsh. I'm upstate. I am at the other end of the house from Carol, and I do business online. I'm also a certified life coach. And I know we all wear masks, okay, at different points of our lives and different things going on. So this is really a great conversation. And I want to remember everybody that's watching this live, or if you're watching the replay, we're also here to answer your questions. Personal development questions, marketing questions, business questions. We have a panel of people from all different levels here. So put your question in and we will get to it, I promise you. And I'm excited to have you doing this, Michelle. Thank you.
Thanks, Ellie. And last but certainly absolutely not least in my heart, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie Donnelly. I am also an online entrepreneur. I'm from New Jersey, but I'm on vacation in sunny, warm Georgia right now. But I was really excited to have this discussion tonight and be a part of it because, you know, goodness knows I know all about wearing a mask and the impact of taking that off and living life, and just wanted to see what everybody else's input was and story was, and so I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Jamie. And I am Michelle Eves. Again, I am an internet marketer, and I live in Northwest Mississippi, but I am originally from Chicago, so I am a Yankee, and I do say you guys. So if I say you guys, excuse me, women, please. So this topic, I'm going to read my notes because I have really good notes, and so if you see me looking over off camera, I'm reading. So this topic is going to be about how the mask we wear in our businesses, the mask that we wear as people, how that's created and how we can take that mask off and be real in our daily lives and therefore also in our marketing message. So I want to thank everybody for introducing themselves, and I'll get right into it. Again, I talk with my hands, so when I'm doing a YouTube video, nobody sees that. I'm down here. But anyway, so excuse my hands. So we hear all the time that we need to shift our mindset, but nobody tells us why. And it goes much, much deeper than just the employee versus the entrepreneur mindset that we hear about. And so this topic comes from the book called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And so we are born into a family, into a community, in a society that has certain beliefs. and we learn how to behave in that society. We learn, we take on their beliefs. We learn what to believe. We learn what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, what's good. And when we go against the beliefs of our family, of society, then we're punished as children. And if we go with the beliefs, then we are rewarded, and usually that's by the attention of our teachers, our parents, our neighbors. And so we learn how to seek the attention of our parents and of other people, and that carries into adulthood. And we become attention seekers. And we may see this in some people's marketing messages where it's, it's all about lifestyle. Look at me, buy from me, kind of attention seekers. And so, as we grow up, our beliefs may start to differ from that of our family and society, and fear develops because we believe that we are now starting to believe is wrong because it's different. And so we start to pretend who we are expected to be, never mind who we believe we are starting to be. And we start to wear social masks. We don't want people to find out who we really are, and we want to continue to be accepted. And so we start wearing this social mask to our friends, to our family, to our business associates or our potential customers. And so we think that we are not what we're supposed to believe, so we feel false, we feel frustrated, and we feel dishonest. And so there are other things that we start to pick up as well when we're younger. And a part of ourselves, believe that we aren't smart enough, we're not good enough, we're not pretty enough. And that could be from us comparing ourselves to other people, but it could also be, something that somebody else says in passing to us. And, we start to believe it. And these beliefs become so strong that as we grow, we believe in these lies. And they're so strong that, in fact, as adults, when we are presented with new concepts, new ideas, new opportunities, we find that those beliefs that we have are still controlling our lives. And, so we believe we can't do that, or we wouldn't do it right, such as, speaking on stage. I could never do that. I couldn't be in front of all those people. Or running a webinar. What if I make a mistake? What if they know I'm reading? Or creating a training video on a certain subject. What if I don't know enough? So we have all those beliefs, and we believe them about ourselves. So we continue on with these beliefs, and we continue with the fear and with the frustration as a result. And so we continue wearing our social masks. But did you know that 95% of those beliefs that we tell ourselves are lies? They are stuff that we've picked up, that other people have said in passing, that other people may have said to other people that we believe, by comparison. The comparison that we make between ourselves and other people, it's just, they come from society, they come from family, and like my daughter, I have a 16-year-old daughter, I don't know how, but she is completely different than the rest of the family. She believes the complete other spectrum of everything, and that's great. But she feels she needs to wear that social mask when she's at school and with her friends, and that's how we are as adults as well. We feel that we may be different, and so we put on that mask. So in this book, there are 4 powerful agreements that he calls it, and there are agreements that will help us break free from these beliefs that fuel our fear, and so that we can take off our mask. So he calls them agreements, but they're not really agreements. They're more changes in our our mindset shift that we need to make. And so I'm going to call them agreements because that's what he called them. But basically, that's what they are. They're shifts that we need to make in our mindset. So the first agreement, and I will relate this to business at the end, I promise. The first agreement is to be impeccable with our words. Speak with integrity and say only what you mean. So that sounds simple. If we forget how powerful words are, I don't know if you're a believer or not, but God created the world with the power of his words. So, it's through your words that you manifest everything. Depending on how you speak about your life, you can bring good or bad into it. Think of the book, The Secret. If you're constantly thinking, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough money, you're going to not have enough money. And if you keep thinking, I'm blessed, I'm rich, I've got more than enough to pay my bills, that's what you're going to manifest. So whatever you're speaking to yourself and out loud is what you're going to bring into your life. And words are double-edged swords. They can build up and they can also tear down. So one powerful word can destroy the life of millions of people. Look at Hitler. He took a country, and through speaking some words to them, he incited a world war with just the power of those words. And he also, convinced people to do atrocious acts of violence through his words. And there's another story. There's a story of a woman and her daughter. Her daughter's little. She loves to dance around and she loves to sing. She's got a great voice. And her mom works full time. Well, one day, her daughter came home from work or school, and the mom came home from work. And, the mom loves the daughter very, very much. But this day she was frustrated. She was tired. She was hungry. And she just wanted some peace and quiet for a minute. While the little girl was bouncing around, singing, dancing, having all that energy that little girls do when they get home from school. And so the mother, finally exploded and said, will you please stop singing? She just said it out of frustration, wanting just some peace and quiet for a minute. But the little girl, she didn't understand that. She thought, oh my gosh, my mom thinks that my voice must be ugly. And so she started to believe her voice was ugly, and she refused to sing. For years, she refused to sing because of that one moment that her mom erupted in frustration and said something that she obviously didn't mean, but the little girl didn't know that. And we all do that. We all do that to our kids, and we don't know we're doing it, but that's what they pick up. They take things like that, and it becomes a belief that they have. And so for years, she wouldn't sing until one day, her, it was around Christmas time, and her friend said, hey, why don't we go sing this, Christmas carol or something? And, the girl, who's now a young woman, was like, no, I can't sing. I can't sing. My voice is not good. And the friend convinced her to sing with her, and she turns to her and she goes, you've got a beautiful voice. What are you talking about? Your voice is not good. And the young lady said, well, no, it's not. I never thought my voice was good. So one little shift started to happen. And then later she was with a group of friends, and they were at a karaoke bar, and they said, hey, why don't you sing with us, sing the song? And she's like, oh, I can't do that. I don't have a voice to sing in front of people. And that one friend spoke up and said, no, your voice is so beautiful. You need to do this. So she went up there, and they sang together, and the other friends were like, hey, your voice is so beautiful. And little by little shifts started to happen until that girl decided or started to believe again that her voice was beautiful. And, it took years for that shift to happen. And it took convincing from other people. But we can shift our beliefs by words. And even if we need to speak it to ourselves, that's how shifts start to happen. So we hear an opinion and believe it. You know, we create a new truth, a new belief from that opinion. The only way to break it is to create a new belief based on truth, and only the truth will set us free. So if we change the first agreement and speak with impeccable words, you can change your whole life. You know, it can lead to personal freedom and success and abundance, and it can take away that fear that you have and transform it into joy. So the second agreement, don't take anything personally. You know, nothing others do is because of you. You know, we have personal importance, or we take things personally, and it's, you know, it's the maximum expression of selfishness, because we make the assumption that everything is about me. You know, nothing that other people do has anything to do with you. You know, it's because of themselves. They all, you know, everybody lives in their own mind. So every situation seems personal. Even insults that seem like they're directed towards us is not about us. You know, like bullies on the playground. You know, they feel inadequate and they want everybody else to feel just as bad. You know, and it's because of the beliefs that they hold and the beliefs and all the programming that they received when they were growing up as well. So you can see how important this agreement is. Taking nothing personally helps you break many habits and routines that trap you. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. You know, find the courage to ask questions and express what you really want. So we have a tendency to make assumptions about everything. The problem with assumptions is that we believe that they're true. I mean, we could swear that they're real. We make assumptions about other people are doing or thinking. We take it personally and we blame them, and we react by creating a whole big drama over nothing. But it's because we didn't ask for clarification before we jump to all these assumptions. So we are afraid to ask for clarification when we don't understand something, so we make an assumption about the meaning. The human mind is very interesting in how it works. We need to justify everything, to explain, to understand in order to feel safe. If we don't have the answers, we make assumptions that everybody sees life the way we do, and think the way we think, and feel the way we feel, and judge the way we judge. And this is why fear of being ourselves around others is so great. You know, we think everyone else will judge us and blame us as we do to ourselves. So we need to ask questions and make the communication clear. The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate cleanly and clearly, free of emotion. Without making assumptions, your words become impeccable. It goes back to the first agreement. The fourth agreement is always do your best. Your best is always going to change from moment to moment. Under every circumstance, you should just do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment and regret. You always do your best, no less, no more. Keep in mind that your best will change from moment to moment, like if you're sick or you're tired, or even when you're well rested. And when you always do your best, you take action. You do your best because you love what you're doing, and that's why we like to say, you know, do what you love. If you are going to a job and you dislike it, but you're going there for a paycheck, for a reward, you're not going to do your best. You're only going to do your best and take action, the action that you need to take if you're doing something that you love. So by doing your best, the habits of misusing your word, taking things personally, and making assumptions will become weaker and less frequent with time. So how do these relate to business? Well, with the agreement number one, your impeccable word. You know, you want to be clear in your marketing message, and you want to speak with integrity and truth. We as marketers, or old marketers, tend to stretch the truth We make our products sound like they're the best in the world. And if you join this opportunity, you're going to make $10,000 in the next 30 days. If we can build truth and trust, we speak with integrity. Imagine saying to the list of people, on your email list, hey, this is a great opportunity. The products are good. The training is awesome. But I'm not going to promise you that you're going to make $10,000 in the next 30 days. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think they're going to think? They're going to trust you a little bit more. They're going to like you a little more. They're going to know you a little bit more. So a majority of the marketer's marketing message, look at me, buy from me, they're still basically attention seekers, and they are the people who put the extraordinary lifestyle photos and stuff out there, and we want to not try to be like them. We want to be unique in our marketing message and speak with truth and integrity. And I think that if we start doing that as a community, then we'll start to put a good word about internet marketers again. Because I don't know about you, but I quite frequently get, when I tell the truth and I take my mask off, what do you do? Oh, I do internet marketing. And they always go, really? And so if we as a community start speaking with integrity and truth, then we'll start to build a good word about ourselves again. And maybe we won't get that in the future. So taking things personally, whether people buy your product or your opportunity from you has nothing to do with you. If people unsubscribe from your list, it has nothing to do with you. If people cancel their trial, it has nothing to do with you. If people don't believe they can do it, it has nothing to do with you. We can never take what other people do personally when you're marketing a business or a product. People do what they do based on what they believe about themselves. Becoming emotionally invested in any outcome in marketing is the beginning of your own downfall. And don't make assumptions, agreement number 3. We make assumptions about people who join our business opportunity. We assume they know what we're talking about. We assume they know our acronyms. We assume they know how to copy and paste. We assume they know how to use social media. We assume they know how to take a video with their phone. We never should make assumptions about what we think other people know. So think back to when you were brand new in the industry and teach people based on that. Don't make them feel inadequate if they ask questions of you, and even if they ask questions of you over and over and over. And then always do your best, agreement 4. We should always do our best when we are marketing our business. Even if we're tired or sick or frustrated or discouraged, we can still do our best in that situation. Now, our best in those times will differ than the best when we feel rested and when we feel great. But in every situation, we should always try and do as much as we can. If you're tired and you don't want to write that blog post, you don't want to sit there on social media for a half hour promoting it, you don't want to do this, or you don't want to do that, do what you can. Just do what you can and do it to the best of your ability, and then you can go rest. So in your mask in business, you want to be yourself. Basically, you want to take your mask off by changing these little mind shifts throughout a period of time, and they're not going to be easy. They're not going to be, none of these 4 is going to be easy. But if you can take your mask off, you can start being yourself when you're marketing your business. The world doesn't need a second Jim Rohn or Tony Robbins or Ryan Deiss. They need you, and people are looking for you and what you have to offer, and they're not going to find you if you're trying to be Jim Rohn Jr. So how do we take the mask off? The mind shift that we need to make, we can start by reading books, motivational books, mindset books, marketing books, books that help grow our business as well as helping our mindset. We can listen to audio. We can surround ourselves by, with people who think the way we want to think, or who are who we want to be, and we can be who we want to be instead of who we think we need to be. So I hope you understood all that and that you got value out of that. And let's see if anybody on the panel has anything they want to say.
Can I say something real fast because it's quiet in here?
Sure.
And I want to be able to talk before my son comes bawling in here, First of all, I'm sure I'm not the only person who feels like you could just mic drop right now and we can close this whole Google Hangout out and walk away with everything. That was so awesome, and how you relate it to business and marketing and everything. It's just, there's almost nothing to add. You know what I mean? You really, that was just amazing. Because, when I think about it, when I first saw the discussion, it became very personal to me. Because for me, I get it. It, taking the mask off, being who you are, going against the grain of what it is that you're, brought into, basically. I lived a long time, a double life almost, and that's not fun. It wasn't a fun thing to do. So when I see, bringing it around to where I am today, and where I am in business and stuff, I've seen a lot of people who do that fake it till you make it stuff, and I just couldn't do that myself, because it's true, when you really put yourself out and you put out both your strengths and your weaknesses, you share those things with people, and just the real you and real life, you attract the best caliber of people for you. If you are acting like someone else or emulating someone else, you are going to attract a kind of person into your business or into your world that doesn't resonate with you, that just doesn't gel with you. So it's really a beautiful thing when you can be real enough with other people and true to yourself. It's a beautiful thing for everybody involved. So, really, thank you for this topic and for the way that you put it out there, because there's just, I think you did a beautiful job of bringing it all together. It was really great. I'm almost speechless, but I can't be totally speechless.
Wow, Jamie. Thank you. I totally agree. Fake it till you make it just doesn't make sense. People can sense when you're faking it. They know, and they feel it. And you don't want to fake it till you make it. You're not going to make it at all if that's what you're doing. You want to put yourself out there. And like Jamie said, attracting the people to you who you want to attract, who can resonate with you. Because if you're trying to be Jim Rohn Jr., you don't know how to be Jim Rohn. And they're going to find out pretty soon that you don't know what you're talking about, like Jim Rohn does. And they're going to leave. You want to attract the people that are attracted to you, your unique self. So anybody else have anything to say?
They're all quiet. I won't be quiet. First of all, there's a fine line with fake it till you make it, because there's a useful piece of fake it till you make it, not with other people, but for yourself. So many people, and I mean, that book and this information you're talking about covers so much about low self-esteem. The reason why people try to be other people, the reason why people are not impeccable to their word, because it's all that crap of I'm not good enough. It's all over the place, and I've worn many masks in my life on all kinds of different levels. So, and maybe you get older, you finally go, screw that, okay? Because let me tell you what, It is true. The older you get, the quicker you throw those masks away. Now, I also have been on a personal development journey for a lot of years, and I'm sure that helps, because I do know some older people that are phonies also. But on a whole, you just finally get like, here I am. Da! Here I am. But, fake it till you make it. That's probably not the right saying when, if you want to be the best version of you, you do have to envision and kind of fake it till you make it. But that's not about being impeccable with your word, or that's not about trying to be somebody else. That really is, you've got to get your self-image to the point of, I am good enough, okay, and I have a lot to offer. I think that's really hard for people to believe that they have a lot to offer. It's amazing to me, because I meet all these people, and Michelle, I didn't know you too much until the last several months, and I then ended up at your YouTube channel, and I was like, damn, this chick is good. And I didn't know that about you, you see? And it was never something that you put out. Not that you should run around and say, hey, I'm great, but it's amazing when you step in and you see people in different capacities. And that third one where it says don't make assumptions, ask questions. And that's a big thing why we say here, if you're on this live cast right now and you have a question about this subject or any subject, all right, marketing, not sex, all right, marketing, or business, or personal development, put it in there. If you're watching the replay, put it in there, because I know for me, I was afraid to ask questions for years, because it meant, oh, I'm dumb if I didn't know the answer. But I didn't freaking know the answer, and I needed to find out the answer, and I was too freaking afraid to ask it. It was like that double-edged sword, so we really want to put that out there to people. Ask the question. This is a safe environment here. It truly is, and I read this book years ago. All right, and I'm like, damn, I don't remember it that well. I should read it again. So thanks for bringing it up. Thank you.
Thanks, Ellie. Yeah, I mean, I guess there can be some instances where fake it till you make it is good. But sharing your journey with people, if you're starting out, try and tell people, hey, I'm new. I'm just learning this. Come on my journey with me. I remember being new and feeling like I didn't know anything. And I didn't want to come off looking like I didn't know anything. But that's kind of like what Mark and I had to do. We had to just step out and say, okay, this is where we are. Why don't you come on our journey with us? And even though we were not very successful back a couple years ago, it just sharing where you are and who you are at this moment, it kind of helps alleviate that fake it till you make it. But again, it's based on your beliefs, and if you can step out of yourself a little bit and start looking at the truths about you, and what you believe is based on what you were born or into or the society, and that's not necessarily the truth. Like the young lady, she still believed that her voice was ugly because of one thing that her mother had said in frustration. And it could just be as simple as that, even though that's not simple. But something like that can turn into a truth that we turn into something we believe. And if we can step outside ourselves a little bit, if we can have a little quiet time and just think sometimes about what we believe and why we believe it, that can help a little bit. Does anybody else have anything they want to say?
Well, I was going to say...
Oh, go ahead, Danny. Go ahead.
You know what I was going to say, which you guys have all said it so well. I'm like what Jamie said. You guys have really made some really great points. We all do wear masks, and it's nice when we can step out there and just take the mask off and say, this is who I am, this is me. And that's pretty much all I have to say on it. I really can't elaborate. It was an excellent presentation tonight.
Well, thank you. Carol, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, you and Jamie kind of left me speechless there for a while. Again, this is another discussion where I would love to sit down and just go on through the whole evening talking about this with you guys, and a couple of beers or something. But I mean, we come back to this question. We all know that we're inculcated with beliefs from parents, society, authorities, whatever, as we grow up. At the same time, our parents see it as, again, I'm speaking in generalizations, but I think in most cases, our parents see it as their job to teach us their values and their beliefs and what have you. So, it's a heck of a thing, a heck of a chore, because parents aren't taught how to be parents, unfortunately, which is one of the most important jobs in the world, and something where people should certainly have education and training about and enlightenment about how to do that. But I mean, if you can be the kind of parent that tells your kid, this is what I believe, you might not necessarily agree with me, blah blah blah, all the more power to you. But I don't think a lot of parents are at that point, and then it takes the person so much longer to evolve into their own thinking. And on another tangent, I've just been reading a book called The Road to Character by David Brooks, the political pundit. And he was a guest on Oprah Winfrey's Secret, what is it called? Secret Soul Sunday or something like that. And I had no idea what a deep thinker he was. And as I'm reading the book, he has little biographies about a lot of different people we know. General Eisenhower, a couple of women around the turn of the century who were very involved in politics and what have you. And some of them were totally true to what their beliefs were, and their beliefs were pretty darn strict. But what I would consider limiting, because that's what their belief was, and they lived it. So be it. They were true to themselves. But some of them, like General George Marshall, he sort of lived two lives. He was very straight and formal in his career, and at home, and with his few friends. He only had a couple friends because he wouldn't let his hair down with most people. He was fun and very loving with his first wife, who passed away, but he would not be that way at all on the job in the military. So I mean, he certainly wore at least two masks, if not more. And I don't have answers really to all of this, but all I can say is I mull it around in my head, and it brings out a heck of a lot. That thing you said, ask questions, don't make assumptions. It certainly brings out a lot of questions, and I think sometimes, I don't know, maybe it's necessary to wear a mask. However, at the same time, I understand what you're saying, that you want to be truthful in your presentation to people, especially in business. You don't want to be feeding them a bunch of malarkey. That's not so. So I don't know. Gray, no black and white. Gray for me. But I love the topic. I think you did a fantastic job presenting it, and very controversial as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, Carol.
Can I just jump in?
Sure.
Can I just jump in with I want to make an amendment, sort of, I guess, to what I said, because what I said was, you get to a certain age, and then you just say to hell with it. this is me and this is what you get. I don't believe that's an age, because actually if you look at this panel, we're all different ages. Jamie looks really, really young, actually.
I'm the youngest.
We're all different ages. Oh, right, I forgot, sorry. And but we're all, it's not the age that brings about the taking off of the mask. It's the stage that you're at, and you get to that stage when you finally get to that belief that we've all touched on. When you get to that belief in yourself, then you're able to take the mask off. And it really doesn't matter what age you're at. It's the stage that you're at. When you're ready, you're ready. Whether you're 15 or 50, doesn't matter. And that's all.
That's so true, and that's kind of like what I was going to say. I lost it. Ellie, did you come on for something? While I try and remember.
Yeah, you can gather your thoughts. I have to say this after what Carol said. We were raised with parents from the same generation. And that idea, and I don't think my mother ever said it to me this way, but that idea where she was even saying, well, maybe you do have to wear a mask. We were taught that, okay? We were taught, and maybe all the rest of you were too, all right? But I know the generation our parents came from, and because it was about, if you don't have some kind of a mask or defense, you'll be vulnerable, and then people will get you. Okay, and that has held me back all my life. And I mean, please, I was told that, and again, she didn't even say it in that way. It was that era of how they lived. All right, now also understand, our parents lived in the Depression. Those are very different parents to have, parents that grew up in a Depression. So, you know, they have very different types of thinking, and maybe it's even worse now because we've had, like, you know, homeland disasters. So God, I don't even know how their people are raising kids today. But that idea of I can't be real because I'll be vulnerable, and again, it was never said to me that way. It's the way I assimilated it, can really hold you back. Can really hold you back. So it really is, look, don't be stupid, okay? That's the way I would do it. All right, don't be putting, you know, my mother was right in this one. Don't air your dirty laundry. That's what, and Carol knows her mother said that. All right, don't be putting all your stuff everywhere you go. It's true. All right, know who you're with. That's why a community like this is amazing. All right, because we can grow as people, we grow as business owners, and we do it within essence, a confined, and then there's a much bigger team even that we're a part of. But, you know, so you're not really afraid of anybody being a total fool. You know, especially when you get into the smaller groups, you know you can just be who you are, and people will uplift you. And other people out there that if you told them your flaws, they would make fun of you or try to take advantage of you. Absolutely yes. There's no doubt about that. But you don't have to wear a mask, okay? You just need to be true to you and just be like, no, you know what? I ain't going there, all right? I ain't telling you that, or I'm not getting in that conversation. I'm not going there. And then you're not wearing a mask. You're standing up for your rights. Oh, no, we could sit here and talk all night. I have to shut up. Thank you.
That's a heck of a good point you make, Ellie, that it might not necessarily be wearing a mask as much as it is, you know, just deciding, being true to yourself and deciding that that's not where you want to go. You know, it's funny, you said airing your dirty laundry. I grew up in a household where my parents were not always nice to each other, but they were very nice to me. And I had one girlfriend who came from the same type household, and we used to talk, but, you know, I didn't talk about anything with my friends. Nobody knew what the hell was going on at home, and, you know, that's the way it was going to be. And yet, it's funny, I just was listening to a call today where it's Diane, was saying how you can utilize experiences that you've had. For example, a couple of women were on who had been abused and what have you. And she was saying, see, in my day, no, you would not talk about that at all. Nope, no way. But she was explaining how you could use that to help other people who are going through the same thing. So, that's why I say it's not all black and white for me always to look at things. There's some gray issues in there. And, that's interesting. It's true. It's true that if you do bring out some of your things, but I think you have to be very careful and know how you're doing it. And otherwise somebody might think you're what's the word I want here? That you're incapable and that you're not worth following, that you're not a person that they would want to be involved with. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answers to all of these questions, but yeah, interesting. Very interesting topic.
Thank you. For the record, I don't know the answers either. But but what I was going to say before is, our parents learned how to be parents by their parents, and so on and so on and so on. And a lot of us don't ever get to this point where we start to think, maybe we want to change our mindset, maybe we want to improve the way we think or our self-esteem or anything like that. That's why these books, all these books out there are great, all the Tony Robbins books and Motivation Manifesto and the Four Agreements, and there's so many good books out there that can help us if we don't know how to do it. And yeah, we can be 60, we can be 88, and we can be 16. We can be any age and realize that maybe we want to make a change. And that's one of the good things about being on this smaller team and being part of the larger team and then being part of this whole internet network marketing community, is that we can kind of understand where each other's at and help each other and find people who think the way we want to think, or who are, for the most part, who we want to become. And we can easily find people like that in this community. And so anyway, anybody have anything else they wanted to say? No? Okay. Well, does anybody have a question related to internet marketing, personal development, anything anybody wanted to ask? Was there any questions in the chat?
So that we've been gathering questions, and we tell people, and I know that the folks here too on their list, you're telling people, and again, people are really funky about asking questions, and I find that amusing, and I don't mean that to make fun of it, because I go through it, and I think, oh, I got it, and then I'm like, oh, I don't want to ask. I just did a video about it. So, but one of the questions, which actually ties into all of this, I think, all right, was talking about, and this is a little more advanced question because it was talking about, utilizing social media. And, well, what should I be, because some people just go out there and blast their crap all over. Sorry, they have signs saying, buy my stuff. I was being nice tonight, see. And that's ridiculous. That's not social media. And then the other end, you see people, they do that whiny, oh, I'm so sick, and oh, this is not working, and that, so while we're saying don't put on a mask, also, and again, that's going back to what, Carol talked about, don't air your dirty laundry, okay? If you got a challenge, and you don't put it out there till you overcome it, or you're in the process of overcoming it, and you're in a positive mindset about doing that. Because then, it's really cool what happens then, because then you help other people, and it's almost, and their vibration actually lifts you further into it, above it, beyond it. It's like this incredible energy, yes, through the computer that goes on, you know. So utilizing social media is not about slamming stuff. So many people, you know, with business, they just, I don't know, they don't get it. You know, our mentor is Diane Huckman, and, you know, she says, just be human. You know, it's like, oh, damn, how simple is that? Just talk to people like you would talk to them. But then you have to be careful of that. You know, you guys all read these books we're talking about. A lot of people out there don't. What they talk about is, oh my God, this is so bad, and this bad thing is going on. You know what? Everybody got junk. Everybody got junk in their life. Everybody. It depends on, you know, what you're looking at junk as. If you're looking at it as a bad thing, we started off talking about that, right? You keep thinking about how this is bad, oh baby, you know, it's bad. And if you look at it as somehow, some way, this is an opportunity, somehow, some way I can get through this, and I can share that, you know. So social media is, there's a word in there, it's a key word, it's called social. It's not about slamming your damn ads all over. It doesn't mean it's not about telling people about, you know, you can certainly talk about your business, but, you know, be social also. Don't do just one. You know, you got to do one and the other. You have to be human. You have to be human, but you want to, so in essence, it's not wearing a mask. It's just like, I'm not going to talk about the crap until I come through the crap. Because otherwise, you want to know what your social feed is? A crap fest. That's it. There's no other way to say it. So I don't know if our little panel here has anything to add to that, or you also, Michelle, but I just thought it was perfect timing.
I actually have a great example of how you should be on social media. I hate chatting on Facebook. The chat, I hate it, but I wish I could turn it off. You used to be able to turn it off when so people wouldn't see that you're on live, but I got a chat from somebody and I started talking with them, and this went over days. Once in a while, you know, throughout the day or whatever, a couple things here and there, you know. We talked about, you know, he traveled and where you know, I wanted to visit, my husband wanted to visit, and his son was going to go there golfing, you know, all this stuff. And then day like 5, he asked what I did. And so I told him I'm an internet marketer with this company, and he told me a little bit what he did, and he was a coach and a trainer and a leader in his company, and you know, all this stuff, and I said I was happy, I loved where I was and what I was doing, and he's like, well, that's great. Think of me if you want to make a change. And I said, to be nice, like I thought I was supposed to, well, why don't you send me your link so I can see what you do? You know, I kind of wanted to check him out. I wanted to see what he was the leader in and a coach and all that stuff like that. But he came back and he said, no, I'm not going to send you my link because you're happy where you are. And if you start to look for a change, if you become unhappy and you do want to make a change, then think of me, but I'm not going to send you my link. And I thought that was a great example of how we are supposed to be on social media. Talking, relating to people, being social, and then maybe down the line, if you get a good vibe from somebody, start a conversation about what they do and if you can help them at all. And if they're happy where they are, don't even send them your link. I loved that. I was shocked when he said, no, I'm not going to give you my link.
You'll never, ever forget him. Because that's integrity. That's integrity. He picked up from you and you said it, and she's happy. Why even play this game here? Very cool.
Well, does anybody have anything else they want to add? We got 5 minutes left. No? Okay. Well, we are a team, and we get together and we mastermind every week. And they actually changed their meeting time so I can join them. So I'm so excited. They're a group of awesome, awesome ladies. And if you want to find out what we're doing, then either get back with the person that invited you or click the link on the page below. I believe it's a green button. And find out what we're doing. And we will see you next Tuesday. We are here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Ellie, did you want to add anything?
No, we're good. Come back next week. We did great.
All right. Well, thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.